4P, man. Like, this dude cannot miss. What's up, YouTube? My name is Jason, and this is my take. And I'm back. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And today, we are kicking off the reviews with the new Nas album, King's Disease 3. I can't even emphasize how excited I am about this album, but Nas and Hit Boy are back with their fourth album together in 2 years. This all kicked off in 2020 when Nas and Hit Boy together released the first of the King's Disease. Then they followed this up with what was my #1 rap album of last year in King's Disease 2. And then in December of last year, to end things off, they dropped the non-track Magic, which a lot of people argue is his best of the collection at the time. And I'm not going to debate that. But Nas, what he's doing lyrically and what Hit Boy is doing production-wise, like, I don't know if I've seen anything like this. The chemistry that they have, just how they feed off one another. It seems like they both are bringing the best out of each other. Like these are Hit Boy's best beats that I've heard and some of Nas's best rapping ever. And Nas, he has some like misses in his catalog, but as of late, there are no misses to discuss. So going into this new album here, King's Disease 3, I had no worries. I knew that this was going to be great. How great or where it was going to rank in this collection of 4 records, who knows? But I'm sitting here today saying this might be the best one. Time and time again, they create greatness and it just keeps getting better over time. And this one's a little different. Like, this one is his longest record with 17 songs. But there are no features. It's just Nas and Hit Boy is the only producer. And this isn't like a perfect album, but of these 17 tracks, there's not a bad song on here. And it's the reason why I've listened to this album more times than I can count. Like, straight up just listening, just like doing stuff around the apartment, having it playing. I went to Austin this weekend, so I was just playing that all like the whole time. Like I didn't want to even play anything else. Let's just jump into some of the tracks that I wanted to highlight. I'm not going to talk about all 17, but we're going to talk about a good amount. The intro, Ghetto Reporter, sees Nas coming out the gate, just high energy off rip. And to me, like personally, it felt like an outro. Let me know in the comments if y'all agree, but to me, those intros that feel like an outro are always the best ones, in my opinion. And like, I don't know how else to explain that. And we're kicking it off with lyrics here. Like, I enjoyed this line here where Nas says, "For me, dropping album after album, it's like various artists compilation, but it's just me and Hit Boy, and this itch take concentration." Like, that's what it is. Like the way that they've been locked in, and maybe the pandemic really helped them in that, but the way they've been locking in and just doing this, like, it really does take that type of skill and concentration. First, we got to talk about the next track, Legit, because of that sample. Those who've seen the 5 Heartbeats, like when you hear this song, you already know what's going on and what Hit Boy did. And the way he flipped that sample was genius. And then when the drums come in, oh my goodness. Like, you're going to hear me say that at least once or twice, either when the drums come in or when that beat switched up. You're gonna hear that. The instrumental on the track Thun felt very cinematic. And to me, this felt like a very big shout out from Nas to his home of Queens. And just showing how much love he has, how much pride he has for where he came from. And there's been a lot of talk about this next line here that I also enjoy, where Nas says, "Brothers can do anything when they decide to. In a Range Rover, dissecting bars from Takeover. Sometimes I text Hova like this ain't over, laughing." Which I thought was really cool, because those who know about the Jay-Z and Nas beef in the early 2000s with Ether and Takeover, we just know how crazy of a competition that was and how crazy the bars were. I really enjoyed the track Michael and Quincy, and how Nas is comparing himself and Hit Boy to Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones, which to me feels very fitting and very accurate. I mean, you got Nas, one of the best rappers in the game, and you got Hit Boy, one of the best producers in the game, like Michael Jackson and Quincy being the best in their respective lanes of being an artist and being a producer. And I love the transitions on the song. The beat switch up, as I said, and how it went from a more New York, like boom bap type feel to a more trap type beat. And I thought it was executed very well. I love the beat so much on the track 30. And to me, like, Nas has shown over these last records that he sounds nice over trap beats, and that is the same here. Is it me, or is it like this is the type of beat where you know that whoever's rapping on it isn't gonna mess up? Like you can't put a trash rapper on a beat like this. Like, it's just crazy. We also get some very interesting lines from Nas, like this right here where it says, "Premiere album still might happen. I wonder why Pete Rock would act like that. That type of behavior make me give rap right back." So there's kind of a lot to peel back from that. First off, Nas and DJ Premier making an album together, every like just diehard hip hop fan wants that and has wanted that for so long. So we need that. But then after that, Nas is calling out Pete Rock, one of the greatest producers in hip hop history, who also has produced for Nas, most notably being The World Is Yours off of Illmatic. And what this was referencing was Pete Rock came out and said that Nas and the label basically were holding royalties for Illmatic, his production royalties. And come to find out that the label owns most of the masters of Illmatic, and that's more of their problem and not Nas's problem. And that's kind of what Nas was rapping about here, saying, you know, we're on the same side here when it comes to Illmatic and royalties and different things. Like, it's you're mad at the wrong person. Wanted to mention the track Recession Proof because the bass line and the drums on this track hit so hard. Also, that beat switch up on this track, it really grabs your ears, and you're just doing this when it happens. Like, it's natural. I love that Nas made the song I'm on Fire, because it's like the most Nas thing that can be done right now. And on the song, he's just declaring that he's on top, he's on fire, he's been on a run, and nobody can question that. I think that along with the sample singing I'm on fire, like at the end of certain bars, just like was the icing on the cake. Very interesting track on here is the song WTF SMH. And honestly, when this song started, when I heard the sample, I already knew this was gonna be crazy. But I'm not gonna lie though, honestly, like Nas is rapping like on this beat with the, you know, the WTF, the OMG, SMH, like all the stuff he was spelling out, it was a little weird. Like, it wasn't really doing it for me. But then that beat switch, it was like the perfect loop that Nas was rapping over when this beat switch. And it's like, it's just that thing that producers are just always looking for. Like, when you find that perfect loop, it's just like a moment. Like, and it just like, and you know you don't have to do much to it. Like, it's fine kind of how it is. Like, that's how I felt like listening to the second half of the song. I really enjoyed Nas on the song Once a Man, Twice a Child, and really just the messaging of taking advantage of your youth, because you're, you know, being elder, being old, it'll come quicker than you think. To me, or did the track Get Light have more of a 90s feel to it, especially the drums and the bounce that it had? And I also love the call and response and the sample, especially on the hook, as well as the sax that comes in as well. Honestly, to me, this definitely feels like a song that you could play at a family reunion or a cookout. Like, it just has that feel to it. My favorite instrumental on this album is on the song First Time. When I was on the way to Austin and this song came on, like, I replayed it like 3 or 4 more times before I continued to finish that album. It just was stuck in my head. The vocal layers on the sample are so beautiful, and the drums that Hit Boy laced this beat with gave it so much bounce. And I love how Nas was just talking about like the first time he heard legends to him in music, and Nas is in that role. Like he's been in that role now where a lot of people can remember the first time they heard him and how it made them feel. And then we have the outro Don't Shoot, where Nas is really playing the big brother role, and I really enjoyed it. You know, giving advice on the younger generation to make it and not die young. You know, also just talking about drug use, especially how it's, you know, killed a lot of rappers recently. And to me, this was just really cool because it was just nice seeing Nas like talking to the youth and connected with them, especially in a time where there's such a disconnect between the older and the newer generation. So it's good seeing that Nas is not, you know, caught up in that and really does care about the next generation. But man, like, what can this man not do? I usually don't hear Nas's name like first when it comes to greatest rappers. You'll hear Jay first, you'll hear Biggie, Eminem, like those type of names, Tupac. But it's like Nas never is like the first name I hear somebody say. And I wonder why that is, because we can sit here and say right now that he is the greatest. Like, I think we can say it, and it shouldn't be an issue. Who's the greatest to me like that? I can't even answer that. But Nas is strong consideration for it. Nobody is doing what he's doing right now. Like, Jay-Z's still rapping, but Jay-Z isn't putting out albums. It's been 5-6 years, I believe. But this guy is just on another level. And to be paired up with Hit Boy, who's on the same type of run, same type of trajectory, they're both just evolving. And they're already legends in my eyes. So to still be building upon that, to me, is just amazing. And I enjoyed every single piece of this album. Once again, another album that's gonna really make things tough and shake up my top 10. But this thing was amazing. You guys definitely check it out. And I'm gonna give this album a 9 out of 10. So what do you guys think of this new Nas album? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What were your favorite tracks? Let's have a discussion down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Got another video tomorrow. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm Jason. It's been my take. And I'll see you next time.